Despite the overwhelming scientific evidence to the contrary, a significant number of individuals harbored the belief that the researchers at CERN, utilizing their Large Hadron Collider, have unintentionally triggered the destruction of our own universe, subsequently transporting us to a parallel universe. Among these believers is a young prodigy, often touted as the world's smartest child, who has put forward some intriguing ideas regarding CERN's capabilities and the alleged exploitation of these capabilities by scientists to unlock a gateway to another realm. In this video, we'll explore the arguments presented by this brilliant young mind and delve into the claimed mechanisms by which the machine was allegedly used to create a new portal. Let's delve into the details. In July of 2022, in a big underground place in Meyrin, Switzerland, scientists found 3 new particles that were never known before in science. They used a huge circular setup of special magnets called the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, to make this discovery. People thought something amazing might happen on that day, like a portal opening, but instead they found 3 new tiny particles. The LHC is managed by the European Council for Nuclear Research, CERN, and it has been interesting and sometimes worrying for a long time. Even when they were planning the LHC, some people were worried it might make a black hole. In 2000, an Italian physicist named Francesco Calogero wrote an essay called "Might a Laboratory Experiment Destroy Planet Earth?" because he was concerned. After that, people talked a lot about whether the LHC could be dangerous. In 2009, on The Daily Show, John Oliver talked to a science teacher who thought there was a 50-50 chance the LHC could make a black hole and destroy the world. But Oliver also talked to real scientists from CERN who said it was not true and tried to make people feel better, even though it was not as funny. There's some uncertainty about the Large Hadron Collider, LHC, creating black holes that we haven't seen yet, but Earth is still here. In 2011, 2 researchers suggested that some black holes might exist, sticking to matter without causing any harm. Now, another person, Max Laughlin, who is known as the world's smartest young mind, is worried about CERN. Max gained fame for sharing smart ideas about how our world works and how people deal with things happening in the universe. However, his new ideas are not just facts, they are warnings. Max has made videos talking about his concerns. He talks a lot about the idea of a portal that he thinks scientists at CERN have opened. It's important to know that Max Laughlin isn't just a thinker, he's also an inventor. When he was only 13, he made a free energy machine and explained how it could change how people live all over the world. Since then, he has become famous for noticing interesting things happening in our universe. He is interested in the reality we live in and the idea that there might be other universes. In Max's videos, he explains his theories and why he thinks there's a portal. Some experts are alarmed by what he's saying. Max's ideas are different from what he became famous for, and now he's seen more as someone warning us about possible dangers. Max has some ideas about CERN's experiments that are a bit out there. He thinks these experiments might be risky for our existence and could take us into a parallel reality that's a lot like our own. His thinking gets some support from past experiments at the European Organization for Nuclear Research. They use a machine called the Large Hadron Collider to break down tiny particles and recreate conditions similar to the Big Bang. Max believes that the experiments with the Large Hadron Collider might have caused a split in our universe. This split could mean that we now exist in a parallel reality. Max explains that in our multiverse, there are countless parallel universes, each with its own infinite set of possibilities. He says, "At first, there was just one timeline, but when something strange happened during the experiment, we ended up in an endless number of parallel universes. So, as we talk, our reality is always shifting from one universe to another along this never-ending line of universes that represents our current existence." According to Max, CERN scientists might have noticed this strange thing happening in space-time, and then did something to change the way events were supposed to happen. This discovery challenges what we usually think about reality. It also lines up with reports that the European Organization for Nuclear Research is looking into creating portals and making changes to connect different universes. Max ties these ideas about opening portals at CERN to a phenomenon where people believe they remember things differently, known as the Mandela effect. Max Laughlin suggests that the Large Hadron Collider played a big role in moving humanity into a new universe. This huge machine, built by the European Organization for Nuclear Research, is in a 17-mile tunnel underground near the borders of France and Switzerland. It goes about 165 to 575 feet under the ground. The main job of the collider is to crash two groups of particles together and see what happens. This helps scientists understand how atoms, molecules, and the laws of physics work. Max also believes in something called the Mandela effect. This is when a lot of people remember something happening, but it didn't really happen. The term Mandela effect was made up by Fiona Broom in 2009. She made a website to talk about her experiences with this strange thing. Fiona told a story about talking with people about Nelson Mandela's death in the 1980s. But Nelson Mandela didn't die in prison in the 1980s. He died in 2013. Even though this was true, many people remembered it the wrong way. They remembered seeing it on TV and hearing a speech by his widow. This mix-up is called the Mandela effect. Max Laughlin's idea that we are now in a different part of the universe gets support from this widespread phenomenon. The Large Hadron Collider, LHC, is a powerful machine that helps scientists study the tiniest particles in the universe. Some people, in the past, tried to sue CERN because they were worried about safety issues. They were concerned about the possible dangers of using this advanced technology. The main worries were about making small black holes and a substance called strange matter. The fear about black holes is quite simple. The LHC is trying to create tiny black holes to learn about the beginning of the universe and the Big Bang. This might sound scary to people who don't know much about it. The second worry is that the experiments at the LHC could make something called strangelets. Strangelets are a kind of strange matter that might change other materials on Earth. It's important to know that strange matter is just a theory and hasn't been found in space where high-energy particles naturally exist. So, should we be really worried that something terrible might happen because of the LHC? Over the years, people have talked a lot about the LHC causing problems, both in real life and in stories. For example, in Dan Brown's book, Angels and Demons, CERN was portrayed as a place where people tried to use antimatter to harm the Pope. More recently, the Netflix show Stranger Things explored the idea that our quest for knowledge could lead to dangerous things from another dimension. However, it's crucial to understand that these are just stories, and many ideas on the internet are also just fiction. If you're not sure about this perspective, listen to what CERN says about the safety of the LHC. The LHC can reach an energy level that no other particle accelerators have reached before, but nature often produces higher energies in cosmic ray collisions. Whatever the LHC might do, nature has already done it many times during the Earth's lifetime and in space. In short, if there were any big risks with the LHC, we would probably know by now. The LHC is expected to finish its work by 2040, and scientists around the world are looking at options for its replacement. One idea is the Future Circular Collider, FCC, which would be in a tunnel about 91 kilometers around. This tunnel would be underground, between 100 and 400 meters deep, and would go through parts of France and Switzerland, including under Lake Geneva. The importance of the FCC has been approved by the European Strategy for Particle Physics, which was updated by CERN's member countries in 2020. This plan chose the FCC as the best choice to replace the current facilities. So, CERN has been given the job of starting a study in 2028 to see if the FCC is possible. Depending on what they find, the member countries will decide about the whole project, including if the FCC can start in the 2040s. We want to know what you think about this. Comment below, and if you liked this video, please subscribe for more interesting content. Thanks for watching.